I want to do this video to explain something about meditation. For those of you that may be new, for those of you that are still learning, for those of you well versed. I do as many, or I did as many, maybe still do. When you learn something, you really hold fast to it, like this is the way, right? And because I had bounced around for so long before I met my friend who became my teacher and my mentor in all of these techniques. Before that, I was bouncing around. I would sit in my in our living room, and no one else home, and I would sit in meditation lotus, and I would relax. And I remember kind of wiggling a little side to side, going, "What in the world?" I found out later that's an opening of all of it that I didn't know at the time. As that continued to just keep happening, then I would see these visuals, these flashes that would scare me and make me open my eyes and be like, oh, I'm still in my living room. Okay. I mean, it was a startle. Like, and you know what's so funny is most of the time, the one that's really just etched in my brain like forever is seeing what seemed like an entire sea of people sitting in meditation. And I could see the details of some, mostly men, mostly older, in the robes, the monks' robes. I could just see an entire sea of them, knowing that that's, there were each individuals. I could see that too. And then the ones that were close, I could see these details. But just this sea of people meditating, like how scary. But it would scare, I'd be like, wow, what was that, And then, so things like that would happen for, I don't know, several years, all through my 20s. I met my friend in my 30s. I think I was 32, 31, 32, which would make sense because I'm 42 now, so 10 years. Anyways, I bounced around for a long time. So when she showed me these techniques, and they were so direct. I could just get into, and wow, this is what I needed, this is what I searched for so long. I had read and read and read everything I could read, and done and done and done, and I still didn't understand most of what I was experiencing. I couldn't control what would happen. I just get these flashes of, and the fear, I suppose, is fear, but fear of what? Seeing people meditate, like, oh, how scary. But then I hear in some of these groups how many see monsters, dragons. I only see those if I ask to see what another person saw. Most of mine is pretty PG rated. Vanilla, don't know how to. The few things that I have been tested on and witnessed in deep, deep meditations after the sixth step, many years after after she taught all the steps, then I'm mainly on my own, but then I'd call and be like, whoa, I just experienced this, that, or the other, right? But you're mainly on your own, really, after learning the six steps. So with each test of the path and the labyrinth, and I would be tested with these scary sights, but I knew no fear at that point. I would see these creatures with sharp teeth and these little gremlin type things that were being mischievous. They weren't being mean. I mean, it's not for mean intent. As soon as I treated it with love, hi, what you wanting, it's just their being. And there's a lot of talk of what is our subconscious shown in the dream state and what is visuals. I think for myself only, that the lucid dreaming, as it's labeled, the visual dreams that are very clear and colorful and can taste everything, those are 1 degree and definitely the subconscious. And then there's the void, which is where one will be shown answers. My point with all the video, in the book series, I've been reading the Ancient Secrets of the Flower of Life, book 1 or volume 1 and 2. He so wonderfully said at just the right time in my life, I needed to hear it. There's 113 ways to meditate. And of course, maybe there's more, I think to myself, and he kind of says the same thing in different words. But for right now, he knows I have 113. I thought, wow, why 113? Well, 13s are all through this book. 13s are all through my life, which I found more fascinating as I kept reading. Anyways, there's more than one way to do it, right? I was getting there before I met my teacher. The difference is she was able to give me a direct line. Meditation can be sit quietly in lotus and open your mind and get what's coming in. What I was taught and what I teach to those that are led and want to learn in this manner is a very direct visualization of entering doors that take you to very special places, very sacred places, back into yourself and a connection to all that is. So I guess I just wanted to make a video that expressed some of those points. There's lots of ways to, or 113 ways to meditate. So there's no wrong way. But if you do want a very direct way, because you've tried and it's just not working, bouncing, do take time to message, to be available, to show those that are led in this direction so that they can learn all 6 and teach other people. Because the more of us that know, right? And my teacher kept telling me that you shouldn't teach until you've learned all 6. It's very true for lots of reasons. One of the main reasons I'm seeing is all over the internet, there's parts and pieces of, none of them are complete. None of these sources are complete. The most complete one I found has 4 steps, the 4 of the 6 steps. And then I've seen touches of the 6th step and the information about it, but not how to get there, which is fascinating to me. Anyways, all for reasons, I guess. I did think about it. It's best that it's not all out there so that only those with pure heart even get there, right? So that's the whole real big goal. Only those with pure heart. Because those with an impure heart can really go in and wreak some havoc. That's why protections are important, etc. Anyways, you would have a guide through all of this. That's what I'm offering, okay? Instead of bouncing around. Even, I find this interesting, even with all this electronic stuff in the webpage, I've been stubbornly trying to just learn how to do it myself. And then I did it, but I've made a mess of it. And then when I change something, something else changes, and it's wasted really a year of my life, a year and a half, maybe not even 2 years, really, trying to perfect something that I could have just paid somebody to do and it would be done, right? Or even trade somebody. I would love to find somebody that knows how to do the web pages, that would trade for the Dreamtime information. Or, anyways, it's the same way. And I've said this premise in some groups. If I wanted to build a house, sure, I could learn on Google and YouTube. I mean, truly, you could learn how to build an entire house on YouTube. Or I could have somebody beside me and we do it right. I could learn the hard way and take longer and use more materials and more, right? Same way with the web page building. I figured some out, and what's there is great, awesome, and now I figured out how to do this next thing, and it just all takes time. I wish I would have just at the beginning, like with many things in my life, with lessons being learned. I just wish I would have just done it directly at the beginning. So, with this meditation point, if you too would just like a direct avenue, which I find really funny, and he speaks of this in these books as a feminine energy. I'm all over the place, right? But with this meditation, I needed direct. And he said, actually, it's a good thing. And for the first time, I think I've heard a male say feminine energy was a good thing to be all over the place because we can find solutions, which is true. That's like been something I can do my whole life. If I see like this whole, somebody's, giving me this puzzle piece and there's solution, well, just put, and then there you go. Somehow I can see that in others. For myself, sometimes if I pull out of the situation and I look from afar while in meditation, then I see the solutions just as well. I just want to share with those that are led a direct path to this meditation concept. Okay, this meditation that it is true. You can just sit quietly and clear your mind and let the thoughts like float out like clouds. It's true. It is that simple. But there's also great visualizations that are shared by a lot of great people. There's a lot of great stuff out there. There's also a lot of confusing stuff. And maybe I'm part of that confusion at this point. I don't know. Trying to be a voice that helps. If you do resonate, do share so that I know I'm on the right track, I guess. It feels in my heart I'm on the right track. If you're led to connect further, to learn all of the steps and acquire all of the knowledge, I'm going to keep doing videos to share the bits and pieces because it is complex. So beyond the steps. So I'm just going to keep doing all of this. And precious treasures, here's to you. I see art in all. I want you to see it too.